I want your suggestion on what to do in a situation where I get easily demotivated and doubt myself in my decisions. I also want to know, how can I correct this issue? If I'm working on my goals, at least you're willing to be honest when everyone is not very truthful. First place to change, first step to change is honesty, brutal honesty. What's happening right now? Why do drug addicts never change? Because they do not admit that maybe things have gotten a little bit out of control. Yes or no, by the way? They're in total denial, right? So you are accepting that this is happening. So what you now got to do is mind your language. Because your language, your mind has power over your body. If you imagine, like, for example, eating something hot in your mouth, right? Just, you'll notice your mouth begins to respond, salivate, right? If you imagine you're really in a cold place, even if you're somewhere warm, if you vividly imagine it, you'll notice your skin begins to react. Your mind has tremendous amount of power over your body. So that means you got to mind your language. You know, there's a very successful therapist I was once interviewing on our show. And she said with her clients, they were burning out left, right, and center. And when I analyzed their belief, she said, they often have belief, something on the lines of, I hate my job. My job is exhausting. My job is terrible, right? So think about this. Our mind is a goal-achieving machine. How many of you agree? If you're telling yourself, I'm exhausted all the time, you're going to be freaking exhausted all the time. Yes or no? Look at, for example, children. You ever seen children with unlimited energy before? Do you remember when you were younger, you had unlimited energy at some point, right? Or at least close to? If you look at a child, right, playing soccer on a grass field, and you was to ask them, what's the belief you have of what you're doing? Like, what are you running off right now? They'll probably say, I'm running off love. I love this stuff, right? I love it. Yes? And can they go on forever? You bet. Whereas if you ask somebody who hate their job, what are you running off? What would they say? Hatred, guilt, I hate this. Yes or no? That's their fuel. What are emotions? It's a fuel. That's how you're fueling your body. And your emotions are being triggered by your thoughts. So in a lot of ways, you got to be careful with what fuel you're using to fuel you. Because before you know it, you'll notice you got no energy for anything. The most important thing you got to do right now is observe what we talk about during week 1 of LMA in terms of the survival state. Because the worst thing you can ever do, and this doesn't just go to Fizzer, it goes to every single one of you, is never make decisions, big decisions, when you're in a state of survival. When you're in a state of survival and you make big decisions, that will continuously make you fall. What do I really mean? Let's say, unfortunately, you've gone through some toxic relationships. Now you've got some big trust issues, right? You're now in a survival state. And let's say you want to maybe get in a relationship one day, but now you're fearing being rejected, right? You're fearing. Let's say you follow that fear and you make a decision to not socialize. Well, one day you're going to gradually fall to the extent that you got no social life and therefore you've been 100% rejected. You have manifested the very thing you fear because you have made a decision from a place of survival. Survival-based choices all have something very much in common. Studies have shown when you are in a state of survival, you often just make decisions that's aligned with reducing uncomfortable emotions. The problem with that is if you're just trying to create a comfortable life and thinking that's the secret to living an amazing life, you'll be very disappointed. Ask me why. I want you to imagine this. Let's put you in the corner of your bedroom. Let's create you a comfortable life. Corner of your bedroom, go to the corner, put your quilt over your head, okay? We'll come feed you every breakfast, lunch, dinner. Do not move. Cover your head every day. Do not move. You're comfortable, but what would you feel if that was your life every single day? Cover over your head, somebody's feeding you every single day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're not moving. What would you call that? Julie says trapped. What else? If that's your day, you can't move. You're comfortable every day. Dead, I can see. Death, madness, limited. What else, by the way? If you're comfortable, quilt over your head, somebody's feeding you, you cannot do anything, you're comfortable. I can see prison, stagnation. Are you beginning to see what a comfortable life really is? Are you beginning to see how the biggest risk you can ever take in life is to not take one? Yes or no, by the way? So we often are stuck in survival And we make decisions that's just rooted towards safety, thinking that's what's going to liberate you. But be careful. That's not what's going to liberate you. What's going to liberate you is something that leads to change, growth, adventure. And in a lot of ways, your mind will be resisting those choices. So the most important thing you can ever do when you're in a state of survival is firstly, surround yourself with the right people, right? And at the same time, you want to reset. Maybe you don't want to make that big decision right now. You want to reset. Go for a walk, have a nap. Making sense? And you got to know when you're in survival. We call this state out of control. You got to know when you're out of control in life. And you got to know when I'm in control. Okay? Let me ask this to every single one of you because you should roughly know. What are some of the signs you're out of control in your life? When do you know you're out of control, as in the survival main is in control of you? For me, I know when I'm out of control because I'm easily stressed over little things. For me, I know I'm out of control if I'm just hiding and not showing up. For me, I know when I'm out of control when I am not doing the things I said I'm going to do that day, right? Or distracting myself. Yes? What is it for you? I can see Julie says neglecting the dishes. What else? Anne says we're not following any plans I really want to carry out. Tel says ignoring everyone. Flora says hiding. So on the flip side, what are some of the signs you're in control? What are some of the signs? You want to become very much aware of this, okay? And you want to begin to be aware. Hey, I'm out of control right now. I got to go reset. I shouldn't make a decision right now, at least a big one, right? The more you do this, the more you will begin to get yourself out to that place.